Each year, I'm sure you're tasked to provide higher levels of service using existing infrastructure and a smaller IT budget. Applications that you might not have considered to be mission critical in the past now are. Things like web servers, database servers, email systems, you name it. The tolerance for downtime or data loss is gone. Applications need to be up 24/7, and you need to be protected against any type of an outage, whether that's a server outage, a networking outage, an application outage, or even an entire data center loss. The expectation is that the amount of downtime and the amount of data loss converges on zero. As an IT professional, you have more infrastructure choices than ever on how you're going to support your end users, whether that's deployment of physical servers, virtual servers, or even cloud technologies like public, private, or hybrid cloud. Perhaps a combination of all of those. And choosing a solution really comes down to understanding your business objectives, technical requirements, and budget limitations. In addition, you also need to understand how you're going to protect the environment to ensure that it's always available and you don't have any downtime or any data loss. The first way this is typically done is by implementation of a traditional SAN-based cluster. This generally involves 2 or more servers connected into some type of shared storage, generally a fiber channel or an iSCSI array. And if you have an issue with your primary server, whether that's a server, storage, or application issue, it'll fail the application over and bring everything back online on a standby node. Now, SIOS software supports this, and we make this very easy to set up as well as to manage. However, while a SAN-based cluster is great for local high availability, the SAN behind the cluster generally represents high cost, complexity, it's a potential single point of failure in your clustering architecture, and it also doesn't help you solve the disaster recovery problem. Especially as you move to the cloud, shared storage generally isn't available, so you need to look for other options to allow you to cluster your application and ensure maximum uptime. So this is where SIOS's SANless clustering software comes into play. Our software plays a key ingredient in allowing you to build out clusters using your choice of hardware, but now leveraging local storage. So this provides you with greater flexibility to use any type of an environment to set up a cluster, whether that involves physical servers, virtual machines, or even cloud environments, without sacrificing the high availability or the data protection that your users require. You can now protect any application using Windows or Linux operating systems in physical, virtual, or cloud configurations. You also probably care about 3 key items related to clustering. The first being application performance. These days, servers come with very high CPU core count, lots of memory. Generally, the bottleneck is with the back-end storage. The data just can't get to the CPU fast enough for it to process it. So by leveraging PCIe-based storage or SSDs, you can now really unleash the power of the application, gain huge performance gains. But the issue with that is that the storage is local. It sits inside the server, and it generally can't be used as part of a cluster configuration. So SIOS solves that problem by providing real-time block-level data replication that's fully cluster-aware and integrated, and now allows you to leverage that very fast local storage with your cluster configuration. Secondly, by adopting a SANless cluster, you can reduce the overall cost of the solution. By eliminating the SAN, you've not only eliminated the cost of the SAN hardware, but also the SAN infrastructure and the administrative costs that come along with your SAN. License savings is also important. By setting up a SANless cluster, you can generally take advantage of the standard edition of the application you're looking to protect, for example, SQL, Oracle, or others. Finally, you can lower the risk involved in setting up a cluster. By eliminating the SAN, you now have eliminated the potential single point of failure in your clustering architecture. A storage outage is no longer going to take down the entire environment. You can also eliminate data loss because our real-time block-level data replication technology keeps the local storage in sync. You now have multiple copies of your data sitting on different systems. You also can reduce the amount of human error involved in setting up a cluster. With SIOS solutions, we eliminate the need for scripting. We also provide you with very easy-to-use wizard-based user interfaces. To sum things up, SIOS gives you the flexibility to protect your mission-critical applications and data in physical, virtual, or cloud environments, or even a mix thereof, using SAN or SANless storage technologies. SIOS software is easy to use, easy to own. It's clusters your way.